For a long time, many of us believed, and many may still be under the impression, thanks to Jurassic Park, that dinosaurs displayed a tough, scaly, lizard-like skin, envisaged as intimidating reptilian creatures. However, every single day we are surrounded by relatives of these terrifying dinosaurs, which are very different to the lizard-esque movie portrayals. But what modern-day animal could possibly be related to such a daunting creature as the velociraptor? Birds. Birds in fact evolved through a long line of carnivorous, flesh-eating dinosaurs, the theropods. Let's take a closer look at how we have come to this conclusion. Many fossilized dinosaur tracks display 3 toes at the front and 1 at the back, very similar to that of a modern-day emu, for example. And, while some dinosaurs did walk on all 4 legs, several species are known to have only used their hind 2 legs to walk, again similar to that of a large bird, for example an ostrich. On the subject of limbs, another crossover between dinosaurs and birds is in their hollow bones. The hollow bones in some dinosaurs may have been useful to remain lightweight to allow them to fly, but also allowed them to process the large amount of oxygen needed to grow to the immense sizes we know them to have been. This, alongside behaviours such as laying eggs, the apparent S-shaped neck, again think of larger birds, ostriches and emus, and similarities between both the pelvis and skulls of dinosaurs and birds, clearly shows that there is a very strong ancestral link. A major similarity, breaking the stereotypical image of dinosaurs, is their feather coating. It is likely that many dinosaurs, even the most terrifying predators, would have displayed an impressive plumage of feathers. Initially, this would have likely been for warmth, and possibly to attract mates with their impressive display. However, it is likely that in some species of dinosaurs, the use of these feathers turned to the evolution of flight. In some very well-preserved fossils discovered in China, feather structures can be clearly visibly identified. The discovery and progressive research provoked thought towards the colours and patterns of these feathers. Would it be possible to determine, from the fossilized impression of dinosaur feathers, the colours they displayed? Several skeptics believed that this would be impossible to determine. However, research into various fine microscopic details of these fossilized feathers over the past decade has opened up the possibility for creating a more colourful image of several dinosaur species. We know that modern-day squids can generate and release dark-coloured ink. This trait was similarly observed in ancient cephalopods. Importantly, the ink sacs from these cephalopods have been preserved in the fossil record. When examining modern-day squid ink using a very high magnification microscope, it can be seen that the ink is made up of very small, perfectly round balls, roughly 200 nanometers in diameter. That's roughly 10 times smaller than the width of one human hair. Now for a little bit of biology. The coloration of these feathers depends on very small structures called melanosomes. Melanosomes are pigment-containing organelles which store melanin. Melanin should be a more familiar term, as it is a well-known natural pigment found in humans and countless other organisms. This pigment controls the colour of human hair, skin colour, animal fur, and the feathers of modern-day birds. Now, the melanin found in the squid ink is slightly different to that found in feathers. Where the black squid ink formed little balls, but black melanin in feathers looks like many little sausages perfectly aligned. These sausages can be seen both in modern-day feathers and in fossilized feathers. This is a relatively recent discovery, as for many years it was thought that these little sausages were fossilized bacteria. However, this theory was ruled out for several reasons. If we take a striped feather, using a microscope to examine the coloured stripes and the non-coloured stripes, sausages are found in the black stripes, but not where there are no stripes. Bacteria would be evident throughout and would not just suddenly stop. There are 2 important types of melanin when considering the colour of dinosaur feathers: eumelanin and pheomelanin. Eumelanin, contained within eumelanosomes, are the little sausages mentioned before, which create a black colour. Pheomelanin, contained within pheomelanosomes, tend to look like little meatballs, and they create a more reddy brown colour. This discovery of these types of melanin allowed the identification of stripes and other patterns on dinosaur feathers, an amazing development in paleontology. However, this does not mean that all dinosaur feathers were either rusty red or black in colour. Other pigments, including carotenoids and porphyrins, produce different colours but are not preserved in the fossil record, as they are non-melanin pigments. Simulations of the burial process of fossils were replicated, putting various colours of feathers under very high pressures and temperatures. During this experiment, the yellow, red, green, and blue feathers all turned black because the pigments they contained, for example carotenoids and porphyrin, were destroyed and only the melanosomes were preserved. This shows us the effect that the burial of fossils can have on what is left for us to examine and the picture we can therefore create. Melanosomes survive because they are such an integral part of the feather. They are buried so deeply in the feather that if the feather survives, as does the melanosome. Another interesting pattern which may be revealed through the inspection of melanosomes is iridescence. Iridescence is the phenomenon where a surface appears to change colour depending on the angle you look at it. For example, the shiny rainbow appearance of a soap bubble. Without getting too technical, iridescent feathers contain wonky, irregular melanosomes. For example, hummingbirds have hollow melanosomes, disc-shaped, and swifts and swallows have flattened melanosomes. Not only does this advance in research help to create a more colourful, realistic image of the creatures of the Jurassic and Triassic, it provides information as to how dinosaurs interacted and responded to each other, as colour is an important stimulus in birds, and thus likely was in theropods and dinosaurs. Birds are unique from most mammals in that they are able to observe a very broad range of colours, which has led to the evolution of complex, colourful plumages for attracting mates and creating camouflage. It can even go as far as to help identify the environment in which the dinosaur lived. With advances such as these in research, maybe it will be possible to create an even more detailed image of what the world used to look like and the inhabitants which used to rule it.